Hey, what's going on? It's Josh with another episode of Great Moments in Music. It's just a little bit that I do where I shed a spotlight on a particular cue in a movie that I think is really interesting. So, this one is from the movie Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and it's covering a chase scene, a very climactic moment, and the cue is called A Foggy Night in London. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the piece along with the transcription I made for it so you can follow along. Enjoy. Okay, now that you've seen that in context and seen how the music is played out, let's go ahead and dissect it a little bit more. So listen to this piano. My samples don't do it justice. It's almost like a una corda type open piano sound, a prepared piano even, if you will, and it's just a cluster of notes. I think this is B flat, B natural, C, and D. You can also look at the B flat as A sharp, and so that cluster of notes along with the strings really make a cool effect in the beginning here. All right, very nice. So that's a cool effect, and then the next section comes in. As you see in the sheet music here, the first key is centered on D sharp. You can also argue it's an E flat. However way you look at it, when it switches to A, that part right there, then it's a tritone away from each other. So that's a cool key change when it has that jarring piano and then leading to a tritone key change. I mean, it's a great combination to get that effect going. Along with that key change, there's a very angular type of melody that's happening in the string section. Let me play that for you. So what you just heard was the string line playing in a new meter in 7/8, as you can see here, and it's the rhythm of 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, and so on. So the melody is very angular, and I think that will just create this sense of, I don't know where I'm at, this orientation, if you will. So let's listen to that in context with the rest of the orchestra. Okay, and now we're going to one of my favorite parts. So cool. So what I hear here is Rite of Spring. It's reminiscent of that from Stravinsky. It has this dun 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 dun. If you've watched Fantasia, that's the T-Rex scene where he starts attacking all the dinosaurs. And when you listen to the notes, it sounds kind of like it's rubbing against each other and there's movement, but if you look at the notes, they're actually playing the same note. It's just every instrument is playing a different note, but they're playing the same note in that rhythm, 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. So there is a rub on the bottom notes, which is the root of C, and then you have another note, an octave or two above, and that's a D flat, or you can say C sharp. And so it's a C7 add flat 9 chord, and that chord is very jarring in context with this. And as that's going on, you have the drums playing, you have the timpani doing its thing, and then all of a sudden the strings come in. So from a very dense moment, you have a very thin, delicate moment almost. Let's listen to that. Okay, let's put that together now. So listen to the contrast here again. So from very dense to thin. And then now it trades off to the horns. And then listen to the horns, and with the trumpets, I'll add that in as well. Alright, cool. Very nice. So the horn line is pretty fast, and it's 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So that's do its own little rhythm, along with everything that's supporting that underneath. And then with that horn melody line, it trades off to the strings, and the strings again do these really fast string line spiccato run. So let's listen to that. Okay, so I accidentally added the bass line towards the end there, but you get the idea. What's happening is it starts to build in layers. You got the strings playing the melody, and then it continues towards the end there, if you can see that. But towards the middle, when on the key change to E minor, then the horns and trumpet come in, and the horns and actually the trumpet and the trombones switch from each other, if you can hear that. Whoops, try again. Okay, so that is really cool. Putting that in context with everything else, now let's add the drums. Yeah, so putting it all together that way, maybe a total of 45 seconds, but very remarkable track. I think adding the mix meter 7/8 adds that modern action approach to film score. But I mean, there's just a lot of things that you have to think about, and a lot of choices making on when do you do a key change, when you have to switch between drums and another horn line. You know, all of that in context is what makes this piece very special to me. I mean, it's not the only action cue track in the world that is great, but you know, in terms of what I wanted to shed a spotlight is this one has a memorable theme. And I think a lot of action cues lack that, honestly. If you listen to, let's say, certain cues from The Bourne Identity or James Bond, I mean, some of those are a little more generic sounding to me. For this one, it still kind of had a special quality to it that was unique to this movie franchise. So I think it really was something that Joe Kramer knocked out of the park with, and I hope you guys learned something new today. And by the way, please hit the subscribe button, press the like button. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below. Also, I am probably going to have to dial down my videos a little bit for the next month or two just because I'll be pretty busy. So rather than doing a tutorial a week, I might do it every other week, and then I might add some other types of videos like music videos and whatnot in place of those. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. Again, thanks for supporting everything you guys do, whether it's subscribing, hitting a like button, making comments, really help my channel to grow and have some visibility in this crazy market. So I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys later.